Hey guys, it's Dan, your host, your Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another Walking Dead video for today. And in this video, we're going to be doing our throwback review for this week for the Year of the Dead series. This one is my throwback review for The Walking Dead Season 8, Episode 1, the 100th episode of The Walking Dead, titled Mercy. Okay guys, just going to be doing another video for today. This one's going to be doing another video for The Walking Dead. And in today's video, we're going to be doing our weekly throwback review for this week for the Year of the Dead series of The Walking Dead. This one is for the 100th episode of the show, Mercy. So, this one was voted in this week. I was actually very surprised that this was the one voted in. I remember I asked you guys this past week, which episode do you guys want me to rant on? Because we've kind of switched up the list a little bit from the other ones this week. We actually did some of the worst episodes of the show. And after watching this episode again, yeah, I remember why I put this one in the list. So, yeah, man. This is not a good episode. I mean, this is not a good episode. It's not even a good episode just for a typical episode, let alone your 100th episode of the show. I mean, my goodness, man. What on earth was this? So, I guess I'll kind of get started with this. The reason why I'm not a big fan of this episode is primarily because of the reason that it's a season premiere. It's how you open a season. Not only that, I feel like for a 100th episode, it was very lackluster. I mean, it was very lackluster. So, yeah, let's get started from the beginning and we'll go all the way through. So, the episode starts and immediately it's all over the place. I mean, literally, immediately it is all over the darn place. You've got Rick crying at the tree in Season 8, Episode 16, which we now know that's what that was, saying, "My mercy prevails over my wrath." You've got Rick at the hilltop looking at the graves as everybody else is getting the cars ready. You've got then Rick giving the speech, and then you've got Rick, I think there was like another one too. Rick's like, somewhere else, and it's just like, oh, and then there's the dream sequence where Rick is old, and it's like, it's cutting back and forth, and it's just like, dude, one cohesive story. I mean, I think that would have been fine, but, apparently we got to tell 4 different stories at the same time. So, anyway, you've got Rick giving his speech, just really not my kind of thing. You've got Ezekiel giving his speech, very cringe. And Maggie's, I also find to be pretty darn cringe. The speeches just are not my thing. Also because, if you guys remember before Season 8 started, they would legit put these all over trailers. Like, literally, a couple times a day I would hear, like, these speeches in trailers. So, I don't know, man. Not my kind of thing. I think the speeches were really cringe. And, I mean, Rick did have a speech in the comics before they went and attacked the sanctuary, but it was, like, badass. Like, it was really cool. The ones in this, I'm like, they're just your typical generic writing. I mean, there's nothing big to it. There's nothing that exciting about it, and the music is just meh. So, we've also got Tara and the rest that are kind of leading the herd away. They're leading the herd towards the sanctuary, so that's what they're doing. And meanwhile, while this is happening, okay, so then you've got the biggest wad of filler I think I've ever seen. You basically have Rick, Daryl, Morgan, and a few others that are taking out some of the, the outposts or whatever. And, or not outposts, but like some of the, the guards or whatever, or random saviors that are like everywhere. You got like one that's like up in a tree or something. He gets like shot and he falls and a walker starts devouring him. You got another one where Daryl like takes the savior out of the camera shot. Then he takes his gun, looks at the gun. I'm just like, okay. You've got Morgan that kills one, which, okay, that one was cool. But again, it's just, I'm not a big fan of the whole, like, oh, we got to take out these single saviors. It just doesn't make sense. And you've also got Sadiq that Carl runs into. And Rick, basically shoots at him and gets him to run away. And they try to do this, like, parallel thing to The Walking Dead Season 1, which I thought was, I mean, it's cool in concept, but the scene itself where Sadiq gets scared away, I'm just like, first of all, again, like, this character just kind of came in out of nowhere. Second of all, I'm not exactly sure why they start turning Carl into some sort of, like, pacifist or something, when last season he was shooting up a whole bunch of the saviors and, was out for blood. This season he's focused on hope and, this and that and how hopeful we need to be, Dad, and all this stuff. I'm like, okay. So, yeah, again, not my thing. So, then you've got the one scene where basically Rick says goodbye to Michonne, and Michonne tells Carl that it's his show. So again, just kind of leading us on thinking that Carl is going to, survive. And then you've got probably the most on-the-nose writing I've ever seen, where you've got a savior that gets killed, and, he basically tells Rick, your boy's going to die. I'm like, guys, could you not be more obvious? Like, why would you put that on the episode? Like, oh my God. So then they're getting prepared. You've got more talking, more speeches, more, build up or whatever. And I'm like, holy frig, man, let's get to it. And keep in mind, we're like over halfway through the episode at this point. You've got like Rick saying to Maggie he's going to follow her after this and all that stuff. You've got Ezekiel saying that they're going to get the doctor back and all that stuff. And I'm just like, man, let's get going here. And then you've got Dwight. He, is out there for a smoke. 2 of the guards get killed, and then they ride up, okay? So this is when the episode starts to get finally interesting, okay? So you've got Rick and them that all pull up. You've got them. They fire. They raise their guns. They shoot their guns. Negan comes out, and he says, I'm sorry, I was in a meeting. And then what do? They cut again. So then you go back to the dream sequence with Rick. You got Michonne that hasn't aged at all. You got Rick that's way older. And, you spend time with this for a few minutes. And then once you're finally bored again, then they cut back to the sanctuary and the attack. So you've got Negan that basically says that, Rick, I don't think you got the numbers for this fight. And he brings out Gregory, and he tries to get Gregory to basically, get the hilltop to surrender and kind of, turn over. But they don't do it, And then Gregory kind of fails. You got Simon that pushes him down the stairs. And then Rick's like, oh, you're going to have to make up your minds. Now, this is the one part from this I actually really like. I really like this scene. And it's when Rick looks at Negan and he says, you're going to make me count, just like 701. He's like, okay, I'm counting, He starts counting. He stops at 7. He starts freaking firing. Love that. Thought that was fantastic. I thought that was an amazing scene. But then you're back with the flaws, man. They start firing at Negan. Negan gets out because, of course, plot armor. And you've got our characters that are shooting at the darn windows, okay? So this war revolves around shooting at windows. This battle revolves around shooting at windows and Negan down on the ground just laying there, okay? Okay, cool. So not only that, you've got, well, if you ask me, an easy way to fix this problem, you should have already had, when Rick and them, shoot the guns up in the air, this is at least what I would have done, and I did this in the Walking Dead rewrites too, and I'm going to say it again. You literally, it's so simple. They shoot at the windows, but the reason why they're shooting at the windows is because you got snipers on the upper floors pointing down at them. It would make Negan look so much more smart, because then you would have the snipers that are way up high trying to fire down at Rick and the others. Rick and the others are firing back, trying to take cover. They're firing up at the windows. They're trying to get the saviors that are firing down at them. But instead, no, they're just shooting the windows because they're shooting the windows. Like, I don't understand that. So again, really lame shootout. I'm not even going to get into this too much. You got a couple explosions there with Morgan's crew. Daryl starts leading the walkers towards Sanctuary. That stuff's cool. I like that. But then they just leave, and then Negan is just saved because it's not about Rick, apparently. So, yeah, and then as soon as they head out, you've got Gabriel that goes over and actually tries to save Gregory, even though he just turned on them and exposed them, but okay. And Gabriel gets himself trapped, and now he's trapped with Negan. So, and Gregory gets away. The little friggin' moron, he gets away. So, yeah, really annoying. And now Gabriel's trapped with Negan, which that part in the trailer I actually like. I like that part. I like when Negan finds him, but that's about it. Then, after that, it's just more outpost attacks, getting ready for episode 2, and then, I mean, that's it. I mean, that's basically it. The episode ends. You got Rick giving a speech, everything we've become, we've already won, just the generic again. And that's the premiere. Honestly, what a darn fail. For a premiere, I mean, for 100th episode, damn. I mean, that really was not the greatest. So, I don't know, man. I think this episode really failed, honestly. The only things I like is, I like Daryl leading the dead towards the sanctuary. I like the "you're gonna make me count" scene. I like that. Everything else either was obvious, plot holes, random, lame, and I in particular mean the shootout, and just plot armor. I mean, the whole episode, like, in the comics, it was such an epic moment, and I just didn't feel like this was said epic. I mean, it really wasn't. It was just generic. Honestly, to me, this was just generic. So this is, to me, a meh episode. I don't think it's a bad episode, but it's hugging the bad. I'll say that. It's hugging the bad. It really is. It's giving the bad a big hug right now, a big bear hug. So anyway, let me know in the comment section below what you guys thought about this episode. That's my thoughts on the matter. That's my thoughts on this episode. Let me know and write your comments in the comment section below. So, of course, guys, if you're new here, make sure to click that subscribe button if you don't miss my videos. Don't miss my videos for The Walking Dead. As well, make sure to follow Dan's Walking Reviews and Instagram, guys. And, of course, I'll see you guys really soon for that video for The Walking Dead. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.
My God, no!